Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. Today I just wanted to talk really briefly. It's just after Christmas, so I'm being a little bit lazy and trying to get over a cold, so I'll keep it kind of light. But I wanted to share with you a couple of fun things that happened. We went to visit my wife's grandmother, and so the kids love it. It's great grandma time and all this kind of stuff. And we went for a walk near the place where she lives, and out on the street, as we were walking along, my little daughter, she starts bending over and picking up all this kind of stuff from the floor, and she's like, oh, nuts. And I'm like, like, what's going on? And sure enough, started looking around, and she starts handing me all these almonds. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Like, what's going on? So I look up, and there's sure enough a tree, and it's an almond tree that was just growing on the side of the road. So we picked up a bunch of almonds. I'm going to show them to you in a little bit. And I started doing some research and reading on, how to grow them and how to grow them from seed and all this kind of stuff. And since this is relatively local to here, it's about an hour away from where we live, I'm fairly confident that they're going to actually, grow well here because it's the same, weather for the most part. We're at a little bit higher elevation, but I think they'll still do fine. So I'm really excited. The almonds are huge. I'll show them to you in a bit. And I'm gonna, hopefully be able to grow them, and I'll show you that process. But I also wanted to kind of take this time to talk a little bit about some stuff that I've talked about before, which is, trying to grow more of our own food, and, there's nothing more local than your own backyard, really. So I really recommend everybody to, plant some stuff, try some things. I've shown you before some of the more exotic things that I'm trying to grow, like citrus and star fruit and things like that, and pineapples and what have you. Those are fun, but that's not really kind of I think what I'm really focused on. It's just more like a fun experiment. If I could get my own citrus, that would be awesome. I really got some high hopes for my kumquat plants and stuff like that, but we'll see. And regardless, I want to grow stuff that's native and that will produce lots of food and without much fuss or care that it needs. So I think the almonds would be great. I'm definitely going to be looking at other fruit trees and bushes and things like that for planting in the spring. I'm doing my research now and watching a ton of videos and reading online and books and talking to people like my brother, because he's really knowledgeable about stuff. And he's already planted a bunch of fruit trees in his garden, and he knows a few of the good nurseries to go to nearby. So I'm just doing my research phase now, and I'm actually quite inspired by several channels online that maybe I'll just give a quick shout out to. So I think Planting Freedom with Aaron, and the gardening channel, the gardening channel with James Prigioni. Those guys are great. Really enjoyed their content, and I'll put links to them down below. You should definitely check them out. I think they have just really awesome content and good information. So I really, they're both really into Fukuoka, which is like a huge inspiration for me. So yeah. But one thing that James mentioned in his recent video was just using the winter time for planning and prepping all of your things for the garden. So obviously I'm still gonna have a lot of things left to do with the earthworks that I want to finish, my retaining walls and terracing and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that if the winter's not too harsh, I should be able to get done a decent amount of that before the spring really kicks in. But yeah, we'll see what I can do. But in the meantime, when I've just got some downtime, I've been reading and studying and trying to figure out kind of like spacings and plantings and what should go near what and what needs sun and what can get away with more of a shady area and things like that. So yeah, I'm really excited doing a lot of planting, about doing a lot of planting in the spring, and we'll see. And yeah, just one other thing I want to share too is that I bought some Physalis. I think some people pronounce it Physalis. I'm not sure the correct pronunciation. It's a ground cherry. In Hungarian, it's called the Zsidó cseresznye, I think. So it's a really cool little fruit. I'll show it to you in a second. And I've been saving some seeds from that too. Just dried them out on a napkin. And I'm going to probably try planting some now, but it might be too early because I think you should really wait until it's probably maybe like end of February to plant some. But I'll see if I can get a few going now. And yeah, I think probably don't have enough sunlight to make sure that they grow nicely. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, anyway, I hope everybody's doing good, enjoying kind of the year-end downtime. If you have like you know, vacations or whatever. I hope you're enjoying it with your family. I know, you know, we're having a great time here with the kids and just going to visit family and stuff like that. So it's been cool. And yeah, I'll show you the seeds next, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Alright guys, so these are the almonds, and I have to say I have never seen almonds this big before. They're massive, and really cool, really happy about this. I got two piles because I had two different kind of bunches that we picked up. These we picked up with my kids just from the floor, and these we actually picked off from the tree. So some of these I just wanted to show you what the outer part looks like. You can still see this little you know, fleshy part that was left and got dried out. And you know, if anybody doesn't know, almonds are very closely related to peaches, or apricots, I guess. They're all kind of similar. And I don't know if that's focusing well. There we go. I think that's better. And the only difference being is that with the almonds, it's, you know, kind of people have selectively kind of bred them for getting a bigger seed, and there's very little flesh, so I don't think there's really much to eat in the way of the flesh, and it just gets kind of dried out, and yeah, almost like a walnut skin, you know, like not really much to eat on there. And then the seed, of course, is really big. So these, you know, you could still see some of the remnants, and these have already fallen off. Oh, we got a jumping spider on there. Anyway, these here we picked up off the floor, and you know, the little casing is already long gone. So now I'm gonna actually have a separate video showing you kind of how the you know, the different approaches are. I think for a lot of the approaches I saw, people just take the seed and they soak them, and then they plant those directly, or well, they sprout them first and then they plant them. But I've seen other methods where they take the whole almond with the shell and everything. So for you know, for my attempts, what I'm going to do, since I have enough, I'm going to actually try both methods, and I'll show them to you guys in a future video, you know, how that turns out. I'm really hopeful though that they work, and I have to figure out how to open them better, because I damaged this one when I tried to open it. You can see it, which I was a little bit sorry about, but hopefully that's still okay. And this one too slightly got scratched here, so yeah, we'll see. I might try cracking the tip and get them out that way. So that's one thing I want to show you. And then the next thing I want to show you is the Physalis, or the ground cherry. They are this really interesting little fruit that grows kind of like, you know, hanging down like that. And these little leaves, or actually I'm not even sure about the direction, so don't quote me on that. These leaves kind of dry up, and inside is this beautiful yellow, kind of almost orange looking fruit. And if anybody hasn't had one of these yet, they are pretty sweet, somewhat reminiscent of like you know, of a cherry, in that they're tart, but they're very odd, because on the inside they are almost more like a tomato with like tiny little seeds, and they're quite good. So I usually just kind of twist them off, and you just eat this part. You obviously don't eat the leaves. They're very cool, and my brother has grown these in the past. Apparently the plant gets really big and kind of spreads like crazy. In more moderate climates, this is a perennial, so it will actually come back year after year. In our climate, I don't think it will, so you have to save the seeds and then, you know, just do a new planting each year, or put them in a pot maybe at the end of the season, and then, you know, replant them out in the springtime. But anyway, so I wanted to show you these seeds. I've already taken out a bunch, and I'm going to, well, these are already dried, so I'm going to just save a bunch of these. I'll probably save some more, and yeah, and then I'll probably plant these out in the spring, and I may even get a few going sooner, just to see if you know, if they'll do okay now. But I don't think we have enough sunlight, quite honestly, so I should probably wait. But yeah, I figured it won't harm anything. So anyway, I just wanted to show that to you guys, and you know, give you some inspiration. Hopefully you're already planning your garden and what you want to grow. I think that's just a great thing to do. Really recommend it to everybody for your health, and you know, reducing your impact on the environment. You know, you can't beat the nutrition you get from a well-planned local garden, you know, and it's really good for you. I think doing the work in the garden is really good for your health as well. So yeah, hope you liked it. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you did. Thanks a lot to all my new subscribers and everybody who's been there right from the beginning. Really appreciate it, guys. So thanks. Hope to see you in the next one. Have a great one. Bye.